Good morning. It is 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Maybe you are coming in from somewhere else and it's a little bit later for you. I'm not sure, but I just got up and maybe have my sleepy voice on just a little bit. So I bet in about 10 minutes, I'll be up and flowing and going. So I am super excited today because this is my first Adobe Live solo. So, maybe I'm gonna have some mistakes here and there. I have this whole setup going, but I'm really excited to do this with you guys. And today we are doing getting started with Adobe XD. So we're going to go down to the basics. This is really for beginners, and that's my favorite type of audience to teach, because beginners are super excited and I get excited with my beginner students to teach them. So we're going to be doing some basics, and today we're going to be doing a music app. I'm a big music lover. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that throughout the session today, because it's all about music today. And let's see who's in here, who's in the chat. This is my first time handling the chat too. So where are you guys calling in from? Where are you guys coming in from? Let's see here. We have Seattle. Hey! Never been to Seattle, but I would love to go. We got a former Bay resident. Nice. I love the Bay. Oh, so who else is in here? We've got Simon. Hey, Simon. 4:30 p.m. for you. That's a good time. That's a good time. Like, not too late to where it's like, oh, I'm so tired. Just enough energy for the rest of your day. We got Sean. Tim says, don't worry, we don't make mistakes, just happy little accents. Thank you. I'm gonna remember that when I make a mistake. Switzerland, super cool. South Africa, Germany, Cincinnati. Wow, this is super cool. I'm loving doing these lives and connecting with you guys, because it's hard to feel super connected right now and feel like a community. And I love that there is this design community that we get to be here for one another. And the design community for me has been one of the most supportive communities I've ever been a part of. And so thank you guys for being so supportive. Even your comments already have been super supportive. So thank you so much. Alrighty, so like I said, we're gonna be doing a music app design today from the basics. Before I get into all the things that we're going to do today, it'd be great if you can design with me in real time. If you have Adobe XD up and running, it's going to be fairly slow enough for you to be practicing while you're doing. I always suggest for all of my students to practice while they watch. And maybe if it's not during this live stream right now, you can re-watch it and pause, practice on your XD file, play, pause, and that's what I first did when I was learning. I did a lot of that, play and pause on YouTube. There was a lot of great designers that are out there on YouTube that I followed and learned a lot from. All right, so before we get into all that jazz, while people are still trickling in from Costa Rica, India, Jersey in the house, hey, someone from LA, hey, I'm also from LA. All right, so let's get into the schedule for the day. We got, of course, myself getting started, 7:30 a.m., woohoo. 9 a.m., Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge with Paul Tranny. Got 9:30 a.m. digital imaging with Magdiel Lopez. Sorry if I butchered your name. 11:30 a.m. Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Julia Masalska, my girl. She's another Adobe XD instructor. Hey, girl. 12 p.m. Branding and Identity Design with Naomi from Nuevo Studio. 2 p.m. Adobe XD Creative Challenge with my boy, Jesse Showalter. 2:30 p.m., Draw Along with Kyle T. Webster. And then 3 o'clock, Design Off with Voodoo Val and Meredith Schomburg. Hey, so that's the schedule for the day. Now, let me guys show you what we're going to be doing for today here. It's funny, I was just thinking like, oh, I have myself, a huge image of myself with myself in the image. I just realized that before. I'm like, that's a little awkward, but oh well. So hey, I'm Elizé Todd. I'm an XDI. You might be like, what's that? Yeah, it's actually a new term. It's Adobe XD instructor. So I'm part of a group along with Julia, who I just mentioned, on the schedule today. We teach Adobe XD to enterprise clients. Well, I also do a bunch of webinars as well, such as kind of like this, teaching Adobe XD. So I'm gonna be showing some of my Adobe XDI instructor abilities during our session today. And so I'm also a UX designer and content creator and an educator. So I create content on YouTube as well as Instagram, and I'm just gonna start doing some TikTok. I'm giving myself a 40-day challenge to do a video every single day for 40 days. I know it's kind of wild. And I'm gonna start that next week. So I'm gonna do educational, really short UX videos on TikTok. So yeah, if you wanna follow me, it's my hashtag on all the things is Elizé_UX. So we'll see how that goes. And now, so as far as what we're doing exactly today, we are going to give you, or I'm going to give you, a quick XD interface tour. It's only going to take a minute. If this is your first time opening Adobe XD, I want you to feel somewhat confident when you're getting into this. So quick interface tour, some XD basics. We're going to go into artboards, buttons, shapes, typefaces, repeat grid, components, etc. Some of this you're like, what are you talking about? Don't worry. We're going to go over it. It's going to be all okay. And then we're going to go over personas, user flows, sketches, wireframes, and high fidelity designs. So I'm not just going to show you how to create a high fidelity, beautiful design. I'm going to talk a little bit about personas and user flows, etc., all parts of the actual UX process, because that's what I do. I'm a UX designer. Visual design is the final output of that. So we're going to talk a little bit about process today and show you how all those pieces of the UX process is guided into the final UI experience. So day 2 is going to be high fidelity continued. We're going to do some prototyping, and we're going to talk about sharing and user testing a little bit and how you're able to do that through Adobe XD. You can do all the things through Adobe XD. So just 2 days is not enough to cover everything, but we're going to get a really good foundation. Again, this is for beginners, people who are new. Let me know right now, actually, what your level is. If you've never used Adobe XD, if you've dabbled in it, if you are super pro, let me know what your experience is so I can get a good understanding of you guys and where you're at. So I can formulate the next few days to your guys' level. All right, so someone said even the presentation was made in XD. Yes, of course. Every time I present, I always actually use Adobe XD for my presentations, especially with the auto animate. You can get some cool stuff going on there. All right, someone has dabbled, someone's intermediate, cool. Super pro. All right, Mike, super pro. Dabbled 2 years ago, starting fresh. Okay, that's really great. This is gonna be really good for you, especially if you've used it a little bit in the past and you're like, oh, I really need a good refresher. Mid-level Jedi. Well, what are you doing here if you're a Jedi? I don't know. That's pretty cool. Someone's never used XD. Okay. No experience, Tracy. Great. So we've got the gamut. If you are brand new, great. I'm excited to show you a little bit of how XD works. If you're intermediate, it's a good refresher and you might learn something new that you didn't know before. So excited to still connect with you guys. And someone is, okay, we're still getting some newish, dabbling, stoked about stacks. Hey, I like how that sounds, stoked about stacks. So am I. We'll talk a little bit about stacks. We'll talk a little bit about scroll groups as well. These are 2 new Adobe XD features that were released last month that are amazing. And why I say that is because they're so easy to use. Literally, I taught myself that. I taught myself it in like 5 minutes. So they're some of the easiest features to use, and they're super, super helpful. All right, let's get into it, guys, then. As you guys, I'm still gonna check to see your guys' levels. So just so I can, we need to move forward from here. So I'm gonna go into the interface design. Let me take a swig from my huge cup here. So if you, first time you're landing and opening up Adobe XD, you're going to see that this area here is considered your paste board. And this is where all of your artboards and all of your designing is going to be. On the left-hand side is your toolbar. If you've used any other tools like Photoshop and Illustrator or anything like that, you might be like, this is so slim. Where are the tools? This is ridiculous. And it is really slim, and that's what makes it super amazing and so easy to use. On the left side is your pointer. So select. If you want to use a shortcut, it's B. You've got square, circle, triangle, line, text, right? These are most of the ones that you're going to be using. And you're like, wait, that's it? And I love when people tell me that, like they're so confused with its simplicity, because I share with them, like, unlike graphic design, or maybe if this is your first time designing anything, you might be like, oh, this is probably super complex and difficult. But when you actually look at a lot of UI interfaces, like let's say Nordstrom, this is a square, this is text, this is a line, line, line. You look at YouTube, square, circle, square, square, square. You look at lift, square. I mean, this is a curved, but it's curved square. Square, line, line, circle, 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 square, square, square. So it's all we're doing is making circles and squares and lines. Obviously, you can get more complex than that, but that's really the basics. And that's why the toolbar is set up this way. So this is what we're going to be mostly using for today. R for rectangle, E for circle, T for text. Those are the shortcuts. Remember them because it's super, super easy. All right, now on the right-hand side is what we call your contextual menu. What does that mean? Well, if I'm selecting some text, the right-hand menu, I'm gonna be able to edit the item that I've selected here. So I can change the text, right? The text style, the size of it. I can change the color, appearance, etc. Same thing if I were to select something like this like yellow square. Now the right-hand side, this contextual menu has changed. I can change the color of it and so forth. So those are really the basics. You're gonna make some objects using this toolbar, and then you're gonna be able to edit them on this right-hand contextual menu. Pretty basic. That's high level what the interface is like as far as design goes. We'll go into prototyping and sharing later on. All right, those are the basics. Well, we see Lana here. Hey, Lana, good to see you in here. Glad you're excited. I'm super excited too. Awesome. All right, so that's the basic interface tour. Now let's go into what we're designing today. I'm going to be designing, if you're just tuning in, a music app. And it's not just going to be a regular music app, it's going to be incorporating live streams into it. So this is the persona I've created. Her name is Tamara. I always begin all of my projects with a persona. So I want to understand who is going to be using this product, why are they going to be using it, and what needs or what problems are we solving with our product, right? That's what we're always trying to do as designers, is solving people's problems, whether they're big or they're small. So this Tamara persona is not one that is actually validated. It didn't actually interview a bunch of people to gather this persona. This is called a pseudo persona, one that I've made up based on people that I know and experiences that I've had, and a little bit on myself, to be honest, today, because I was really excited to do a music app for myself. So that's what this is. So it's a pseudo persona. And with a pseudo persona, it's totally okay to move forward in your design, and you can validate your persona later through interviews and through research. Okay. Now, this persona, this whole thing that I've created is actually, I'm using an Adobe XD plugin called Whiteboard. If you guys have never used it, I would highly suggest it, because in here is a bunch of UX tools that we use: card sorting, business model canvas, customer journey maps. These are all things that UX designers use. And before we get into any design, before we get into any actual UI design, and what's really amazing about this, what happened here? What's really amazing about this plugin is that, like, let's say you select something like business model canvas, on the right hand side it'll tell you what this is used for and how to use it, just like so. So this is a great way if you're like, hey, I want to start getting into UX, UI, I need to start like understanding some of the common tools that are used in the community. This is a great way to start learning and using them, because it's showing you exactly what this is about and how to use it, right? So it's great to probably do one of these, a new one every single project, like try new ones to incorporate. All right, so I grabbed this one, the persona, from the plugin, and I also grabbed the user flow from this plugin as well. So again, check this plugin out if you haven't. It's called Whiteboard. Amazing. Okay, so let's get into Tamara. Tamara is a festival goer. She's a big music lover, and she's really sad right now because she doesn't get to go to music shows. And she's from Los Angeles. There's no music. She doesn't know when music events are going to be coming back. So she's really sad about missing live DJ sets. This is when she feels the most alive. A little bit about myself. That's I feel really, really alive when I'm when I'm at a concert with a bunch of people listening to music, dancing, and I'm really sad about missing it. So again, like, this is based a little bit about myself. All right, so that's a little bit about her and her personality, her frustrations that she's having, and her preferences. Now, how is she going to find out about this new feature that we're creating? Well, she's going to receive a notification about a DJ that she's following, and that she's following on her music app. And she's going to say, hey, they're going to say, hey, there's this DJ is going to be doing a live set on, you know, this date. Or maybe they'll say, hey, this DJ is doing a live set right now. Okay, so that's my initial thoughts on how she's going to find out about the feature. Her motivation for using the feature: she wants to know when her DJ is playing live. So she might be using YouTube to find out when DJs are playing live, but she wants to be able to do that on her actual music app, because sometimes she just wants to listen to the DJ set. She doesn't want to have to watch it live. Right? She might be in her car and just wants to listen to it. Okay, how will she use it? Like we said right here, when she's driving, she gets to listen to the sounds. She gets to listen to the DJ set. Or maybe when she's at home, she gets to play it on her big system, her speaker system. Yes, I have a big speaker system myself that I blast my DJ music on. Anyways, if you guys are into DJ, if you guys are feeling like I feel about music and live shows, just put in the comments, what are your favorite music, or what's your favorite music genre, or your favorite artist, or anything like that. And let's feel connected on music. It's what makes me feel super connected. All right, so I always, again, start with a persona. Who are we designing for? What are we solving for? This is what's most important. Every time I look at a designer's portfolio and they don't explain who they're designing for and what problem they're solving, I kind of stop looking. Okay, we're problem solvers. That's what we are as designers. So we want to be thinking about that. We think about the people. It's called user experience, right? Or user interface. We've got to think about the user. All right, next piece, user flow. User. So this user flow, if you've never used one before, is you're thinking about every single step a user takes in order to accomplish their goal. right? You might have many user flows in your product, but we're just thinking about one user flow, which is Tamara wants to find a live set to listen to while she's at home on her mobile phone. Great, simple enough. So she begins. She's going to look at live sets. She's going to want to look at artists that she already follows. Then she's going to listen to that set. And then perhaps she's going to donate money. Then she's going to get to decide how much money she's going to give. Then she's going to confirm and send that money and donate it to that artist. And then she'll go back and listen to that set. Now, oftentimes, if you're a big music lover, you realize that artists are not able to make money right now. So perhaps you might want to donate. All right, after that, what I do is I go in and I do a competitive analysis and also just try to gain inspiration from products that are already out there. So of course I'm going to look at Spotify, right? Everyone uses Spotify. So I'm looking at, I just took screenshots of their interface, trying to get a feel for what that looks like. Then I looked at Dice as well. Dice is a company that does live shows, tickets to live shows, but they're also now doing live streams, I just saw. So you can also buy tickets to a live stream. Very similar interface to Spotify, as you can see, right? And then we've got YouTube. So wanting to also, I looked at theirs, like how do they handle lives? Cool. I'm gonna take a pause there. Let's see what people are saying here. I'm a musician, so these time are really just like, what do I do? Yeah, totally. That's why I've been loving these live sets and still feeling connected to musicians. And I was thinking, you know what? We might be getting some really good music after this. People at home just like jamming. So I'm really excited. So I hear you, Danny, totally. All right. Can I get your Adobe demo assets files? So this actually is not available. We're going to be doing everything from scratch today. So if you have your Adobe XD open, you can design with me in real time. Yeah, super exciting. All right. What's a good icon plugin? We're going to go over that today, actually. So I'm going to show you a plugin that I use for icons. All right, cool. Now let's move forward. The last piece that I'm going to share with you is then I do sketches. So I'm actually sketching out what my screens are gonna look like. Now, if you've never sketched before and you're like, I'm so scared to sketch, look at my crappy sketches. They don't look good, right? It doesn't really matter. You're just trying to get a feel for what your actual screens are gonna look like before you start designing. All right, so this is her recently played. This is what's live right now. Here, when she selects live now, like she wants to view all of what's live, she gets to see artists that she follows. She gets to search live shows by genre. She can see what's coming up soon. Maybe it's not live right now, but maybe in an hour or tomorrow, and other shows that she may like. And then this is the actual live video here. So she can play it, she can see the artist's name, she can donate, and she can see other streams, right? So this is what we're gonna be designing today. Now, typically what I do is I will have my sketches on the left-hand side, and I'll start going into wireframing. It's called low fidelity wireframes. That's what we first begin with. This is actually considered low fidelity too. This is just sketches, but I'm gonna go now into the next phase, which is wireframing black and gray grayscale screens. Not super beautiful, just trying to understand the layout of the screen. This is usually what the UX designer starts with. So if you guys are doing wireframes for the first time, let's get into it. All right. First thing you're gonna do is make an artboard. If you've never made an artboard before, your shortcut is just hitting the letter A. I am gonna be using the artboard iPhone XR XS, this first one on this menu right here. So it's popped in over here. If you wanna go back to your pointer, just click the shortcut V, okay? So A for artboard, V to go back into your select cursor here, okay? Now let's get into creating this first text, recently played. Now, from shortcuts, What do you think the shortcut is for text? I'm not gonna wait, but imagine, think about it. T for text, right? So if you've never done that, T for text, oftentimes the shortcuts are pretty easy just like that, okay? So recently played. Now, when I am doing wireframes, I am not worrying about the actual text or the font. I'm not worrying about which font style it is. This automatically did Acumen Pro, cool. Just leave it there for now. We're not worrying about visual look and feel right now. We're only worrying about placement and the architecture of the page, okay? So, recently played, and then we need to make some images here. They're a bunch of just squares, honestly. So, R is the shortcut for rectangle. So, R for rectangle to make a square. Cool. There's a square. Now I want to have the name of the artist underneath. So I'm just going to copy and paste this little guy down here. I'm going to say artist name. Now this is obviously going to have to be much smaller compared, and I'm going to make it not bold. So you can change the styling here from black to regular, bold, etc. I'm just going to change that for now. Now these two things here, I want these to be a component, a group. Now what is a component or a group? All right, so the other little educational piece I'm going to give you here. This is something we call atomic design, where we're breaking down a page or a screen or a product into these different elements. So we can think of atoms as just the shapes or the text. They're just by themselves like little atoms. But when you combine them, you create a molecule, right? So this is a molecule that you're going to be using over and over and over again in your design file. And this is what we call components in Adobe XD. These are called components. So if something is going to be used over and over and over and over in your products, you don't have to recreate that from scratch over and over and over again. And every time you make a change to this molecule, you don't have to make a change to every single time to all the different molecules. So that's why we have this feature about called components and making a component. So to make a component, you do Command K, and now this is a component. You see this little triangle on the left corner. What that means is if I make a copy of this, I consider these the master component, and these are like the little, the replicas of this component. If I make a change to this one, now look, it changes all of them. So I don't have to repeat and make this same component over and over and over again. And have to, like, if I made one adjustment, let me show you what it'd be like if I didn't have a component. So if I had this group and I made this same group on all these different screens, and I wanted to make that little adjustment, I have to go and make this adjustment to every single one. It's very, very annoying as a UI designer because, like I've shown you, it's just squares and circles, and you repeat components all throughout your designs. So please make sure to use components as early as you can. This is best practices for when you're getting into designing. This is going to be your best friend, components. Okay? So you can do that by Command K, or over here on the right hand side under Repeat Grid, you can select the plus button, and now this is a component. Okay? So make sure you create components. All right, moving forward. So now that this is a component, something else I'm going to show you, another little feature, is Repeat Grid. So up here, I'm going to select Repeat Grid. If I have Repeat Grid selected, all I need to do is drag this little handlebar over, and it will repeat this same group over and over and over to infinity. Okay, same thing if I do it this way, but I'm not going to. Boom. So now we've just created our first component group. And as you can see, we're going to basically be repeating this over and over and over again. So there's some slight changes here where I have a view all button. So I'm just gonna grab these two pieces and bring them down here. Now I'm going to make this say live now. I wonder if that makes enough sense. Maybe I should say like artists live now or something. And then I want to have this view all button. So I wanted to create this view all button so that it's easier for the user to be like, okay, I don't want to have to like keep scrolling through and just see like 8 artists to infinity in this small window. I want to be able to view all of them in a larger view. So that's why I have this view all. Recently played, you don't really need that as much, right? It's just like your 8 recently played. You don't need to see 100 of your recently played. That's why this makes sense here. So there's my view all button. Oh, you know what? Something I did not do yet, which bad on me. Didn't make textiles yet. So this is another really important thing to do when you're starting to design, is just like the component, how I repeated this same component over and over and over again, you repeat the same textiles over and over and over and over again. And so if I wanted to make an adjustment to this one here, I made this awful pink. Well, now I have to go and make this one the awful pink, right? So instead of doing that, we create textiles. So you are actually going to find on your left-hand menu in your toolbar underneath on the very bottom, the first little button here is your assets. So now you're going to see your little component you made here. Look, there he is, right? If you want to make any edits to it and so forth, you can just make it here. Now we want to create a character style. So I'm just going to add this plus button, and now this is a character style. Now I just made this by selecting this little text and selecting this character style. I think I made it. There. So now this is a character style. So if I make a change to this guy, to this guy here, now it's going to change all of the other textiles. So this is going to be really, really handy for us when we move from ugly little wireframes into high fidelity, beautiful designs. This is going to be really helpful when I start actually putting the textiles, the colors, the styling, all that I want. It's just going to reflect on all of my wireframes. Why we do wireframes? Does anyone have a guess as to why we do wireframes and we don't go into straight high fidelity? Anybody? I'm going to wait for a response as I continue on. I am making now a rectangle. So if you guys remember, the shortcut for rectangles are make a little rectangle down below here. This is not to be beautiful. Don't forget, we're just trying to lay out the architecture. Anybody have an answer for why we use wireframes? Blueprint, yes, saves work. Yeah, totally. If you get too attached and start putting high fidelity early on, when someone tells you, hey, I don't like this, move that, scratch that screen, you're like, dude, I spent hours on that screen. I can't just remove it. We want to be detached as much as possible as designers from our work. It's really hard to do that, right? It's practice. I want to be detached from my work and not feel like this is a reflection of who I am and how great I am. This is just a design that I will need feedback on. I want many eyes to look at it. I start testing it at this stage with designers, with other users. I started getting feedback at this point, and I'm not attached to it. Because I just spent we're spending like 10 minutes on this one screen. Don't feel attached to it. That's why we do that. Okay, so now we're gonna make this little search bar here. So, this little menu bar here. And someone asked about icons. So in the plugins, bottom left here is where you're gonna have your plugins. I use the plugin Icons for Design. So if I wanted, I'm actually going to turn this into a home button. I don't want to search. You can type in home and you can see all these different icons. And so actually there's material design. Google's material design, they offer a bunch of different icons. So if you want to stay somewhat consistent, you can use material design. There's also other ones like feather and ionic and stuff. So you can stay fairly consistent if you want to stay in that same family. So I will look at material for now, and I'm going to stick with material so that my icons are consistent. Meaning I don't have like a filled in one and then I have like see how these are super inconsistent. If I had like the different styling of them, you don't want to do that. You want to have it be consistent. So that's why I'm sticking with material. All right. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say T for text to make the home button. Phone. Make it a bit smaller. I get to block. Let's make it. So here's my home button. Now I typically always put the text with the icon. Can anyone guess why I do that? Why would I want to have the text with, actually let me, the text with the icon? Any guesses out there in the world? Do I have a material? So I don't have a material design for a heart, but that's okay. It just looks filled in. It's not like, just try to find something that's similar enough. This is pretty good. Let's see. Clarity of function. Yes, Connor, you're so great. Thank you for filling that out. Thank you for answering that. Is it possible to copy a component state interaction to another component? Yeah, if you guys have any specific questions, I'm going to leave some Q&A time at the very end to answer questions. Also, feel free to message me and comment and send me a specific message through my social media, anything like that, and I'm happy to answer them. I don't want to spend too much time on one question as we're moving through the screens. Okay. So, yes, so clarity of function. That's why we do it, because if you just had an icon here, just a home button, you may not know, actually with a home button, that's pretty obvious, but let's say, you know, a menu bar or something like that. Not everyone knows what those icons mean across, you know, all types of people that will be using this. You have to think about older people, younger people, all types of people. And it's much easier for someone to understand what an icon means if there's words that go along with it. That's why I always make sure to use words as well. That is a UX pro tip right there. So now let's look for menu. So now we have this little menu bar. Cool. Now we have already created this little menu bar, and I want to make this a component. I'm going to select all of these guys here. I'm just going to grab this all as a group here. And if you guys remember the shortcut, Command K, or just grab this little, do the little plus button up here. That as well, next to component. Right? Now that's another component. We've made two components now. We've got some typography styles. We've got an artboard. Cool. We already finished our first screen here. I'm gonna just label that artboard. Done. Boom. Now, next we're going to be doing after she is selected, okay, if you guys remember, if you've just joined, Tamara is a big music lover. She wants to be able to listen to live DJs as they go on her music app. So here is her home screen. She's like, okay, let me see what artists are live right now. She wants to go into view all and see all artists that are live right now. And so she's gonna go into this screen here. Now this screen looks very similar to this screen. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it over. The only thing now is I wanna move these guys down because I wanna have a title, live now, what artists are live right now. Artists live now. All right. So now instead of recently played, I'm just going to change it to artists. Ooh. What happened? I must have doubled it. Artists you follow. These are some of the musicians she's already following. She can see who's playing live there. Then she can see the, she can search by genre. You can see what's coming up soon. And then there's the artists you may like. I'm just gonna push down and make another one of these. All right. So these, that's already the second one done, right? Here's the live artists. Now the only thing I was thinking actually that might be different for the live artists is that we should have some sort of indication that these are different, that these are actually live in this moment in time. And when I looked at YouTube, they have like a little indication live right here. On Dice, this has this little icon and it says live stream. If you guys have an opinion, would you prefer for it to be in the image like this, or would you prefer it to be like within the text over here underneath the image? You know what you guys think. Would you prefer it inside or just text here? Let me know what you think, because then we can change the component a little bit while you guys are deciding that. Someone said the heart also means wish list. Yeah, so heart can mean a couple different things depending on what product and what site you're using it on. So that's really great. Big Brother. I like your name, Big Brother. In the image. You prefer in the image, Carrie. Okay. We could do that. So I'm going to show you something new with components. So do you remember this guy? The component, the master component over here. Well, I want to make a new state to where I don't want to have to create a new component. I just want it to be a variation of this state. So I'm going to go over here into the right hand side in the contextual menu where it says component, and it says, you see where it already says default state. Well, now I want to add a new state. And I'm going to make a live state. What does that mean? Well, now I want to do this on grid. Actually, it's fine. Let's just continue. Kind of like, let's just continue on. I'm like, should I do this with the component in a repeat grid? I think it'll all work out. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so this will say live. Maybe I'll make like a little rectangle. There. So, but these are actually recently played. These are not live. So let me just change. So now I just changed it from the live state to the default state. because the recently played are not live, but I had to do that on here because this was the master component. You know, it's the master component because there's a triangle on the upper left hand side here that's filled, a green triangle. So it's the master component. Sometimes it can live on your screen, or sometimes what I typically do is I'll have a whole artboard that's just for my components, my master components, so it's easier to find. But for sake of time, we're just leaving it like this. But if I were to be creating a whole design from scratch, I would have a separate artboard with all my master components. Now, over here, now I'm gonna change this one to live. Now it makes sense. So for all of these are lives, great. Now all of these are artists that are live now. All of these are live. So I'm just gonna change this to live. Coming up soon. I don't think I should have live on there because they're not live yet. Wonder how that, what should I do for live soon? Maybe it could be like live, but coming up live. Yeah, what do you guys think? Should I have live here or not, or a variation of it? I'm gonna leave it without for now. Yeah, what I would typically do is I would go on to other sites to see what they do. What's like typical and normal for, maybe it would be like more so underneath like this, like live stream soon. Maybe that would be the variation. Live soon. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. Kyle, sorry I'm really late. That is okay. Just to let you know, we are designing a music app. And this music app is going to incorporate live music so that Tamara, our persona, she loves live music. If she's on her app and she's driving her car, it can say, hey, one of the DJs that you love, that you follow, is going live right now, and she can play it in her stereo and she could be dancing and be like, yeah, I'm dancing live with 200 other people right now. Super cool. Great thing about lives, right? Everyone here must love live. Oh, you know what? I'm actually looking at Adobe XD and they have like a little, let me show you guys. They have this little notification here, live in 12 minutes. So we could totally take this for inspiration too in ours. Someone said maybe live, but grayed out. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe it's grayed out. Maybe it says live if it is live. Have it say live if it is live. Yes, I agree. I like the idea of the reminder, says Maria. Yeah. Within a 1-day window. Okay, so it says live within a 1-day window. Okay, cool. That's a good idea. If not, no indicator, hands free, no car dancing. You could dance with your body, right? Like, this is okay. That's what I do. Or, maybe you're in the passenger, so that's totally okay. Live, remind for live bell icon. Yeah, cool, I like that. Okay, so I think we're all in agreement that perhaps we do still have it inside the image, maybe with a little reminder set like they have here. It's just like they don't have as much space here. So we're gonna have to consider that. Let's see, let's create a third state. So live soon, what we'll call it. And actually, like this, live soon. And live, maybe I'll just say like live into live in. now it's making me think like, should the lives be still in the image or should the live be under, you know? Because like, is this taking up too much of the image space? We'll really find that out more when we get into the UI. Like this is just our first iteration. If you are a designer that's just working on wireframes, not high fidelity, you may do something like this because you're just trying to remark like, hey, we need to have this indication, and then your UI designer can like finesse it and make it look better and be like, oh, maybe actually it should be down here or something like that because it's obstructing the image. That's kind of the relationship you may have with if two people are designing UX and UI, not one person is doing both, how it might work. So we could do something like that, live in 2 minutes or something, live in 2 days or something. Now, unfortunately, we can't do the set reminder, but maybe once they go into the next page, they could set a reminder for themselves or something like that. So anyways, that'll be the third state. I'll just take that back to default. And then this one coming up soon. Now live soon. Okay. So if you are just attending, we are creating different states in our components. That's what we're doing right now. And why I did it into here is because this is the master component. This is the original OG master component that rules them all. And so now we have 3 different states. We have the default state as this one here. Then we have a second state, which is the live state. And then we just created a new one, which is the live in 2 minutes or coming up soon state. So I didn't even think about that in the first sketches. So in the second, now this is the second iteration. We're kind of getting into wireframing. Low fidelity wireframes here, and then now we're going to be going into high fidelity after this. Let's see if we have time to do that in today. If we're going to maybe do a high fidelity screen as well. Okay, we're going to get into colors. I don't know. So the next final screen we're designing for wireframe is once she's actually selected a artist here that's live. So I typically just like copy and paste the same screen, even if I'm not taking many of the elements, I just kind of delete it. Maybe I'm just lazy because I don't want to have to do artboard again. Everyone has their way of doing things. So now what I want to create is this close button over here on the right hand side. So this is my early sketch if you're just arriving. I do sketches first, then to low fidelity wireframes, and then to high fidelity wireframes. That's usually the typical way of designing. So from very, very low fidelity to actual low fidelity wireframes to high fidelity. So now I'm going to go into material close. Wow. Bring that guy over here. And then I'm gonna have a big image in the back here. Or sorry, a big video in the back here. And then I'm going to make a triangle. This is a shape we haven't made yet together. So on the toolbar, you could find the triangle here. And this is the one that's the shortcut's weird. The shortcut's a Y, polygon Y. I know. R for rectangle and stuff, like T for text, but then Y for triangle? I don't know. But anyways, that's what it is. You can make a triangle. I'm going to flip it 90 degrees here. So if you saw, I'm editing it in my contextual menu on the right hand side over here. I'm adjusting it, rotating it, etc. all through here. So there's that. Then we have like the little, I have 2 live sections. So I originally had it here, but then I was like, maybe I'll put it on the bottom corner. We'll see how we feel about it when we really get into the high fidelity. But for now, we'll just put it here, live. And then I have this little like expansion, so you can expand it like in YouTube. Oh, I don't have the visual here, but on YouTube, you can make it from, you can expand the view and make it a horizontal view as well. So she can watch it if she's not driving, or if she's driving, she can just listen to it. Expand. So I'm going to use, again, see if I can find material design. Now material design does not have the icon I want. That's okay. I'm going to try to use this ionic one. Again, these icons could just be placeholder when you're doing wireframing. It's totally okay. And when you go into UI, that's when you might spend more time really thinking about the iconography, the font sizing, everything is more fleshed out in the high fidelity. This is to just get structure. If you guys are just joining, just like, why are you doing this and so fast? This is what we do. We try to make wireframes really fast so you can start to get feedback and iterate on it very quickly, moving quickly. That's really the name of the game here. Okay, so I don't think I made this. I don't think I made this a character style yet, so I'm going to do that. Yeah. I'm going to use that, the H1 for the artist name. Okay, so we got that. We got the artist name. We need to put how many people are watching. I guess we could put an icon here too, like how many people are watching now. Like those little eyes. Let's see if material has one. They do. A little eye. People are watching. Little eyeballs. Cool. All right. So then we're gonna have a couple buttons so she can save this set and listen to it another time as well. That's what I really love about this experience is the ability to save sets. Because I really love how, if you guys have ever used SoundCloud, you can listen to DJ sets later on, but they don't really have that experience on Spotify. So be able to listen to a live set and then save it for later. So that's this ability here. She can share it with her friend. I would definitely share it with my fiance, be like, oh my gosh, this artist is going on. And I would share it right away with like a group of my friends. My fiance and I do that with this artist called Netsky. It's a drum and bass DJ we absolutely love. She can donate to this artist and she can see other live sets that are happening right now. I see some people like, Y is for the triangle maybe? Or polygon, because P is already the pen tool. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I don't know, it still doesn't like feel good when you're like R for rectangle, T, Y. Ooh, it feels weird. But I get it. All right, so let's do the add button. Which add save button should we do? I guess just let's do this one for now. And again, we're gonna have, remember, I'm honestly like sometimes really bad about doing the character styles and I also forget to do them, so. Did I do it? I did do it, cool, okay. It's actually just the same one here. Save. Go back into my plugins. So if you're just joining, this is the plugins plugin I use for icons, icons for design. And you just search like so. So share. Grab this little share button. Bring it in. Now, if you guys, I didn't create a third button yet. I always feel like 3 feels good, but I wasn't sure what to put. I'm like, what would she really want to do here? And I'm gonna leave that to you guys if you want to think of some, you know, other button she might want to use with this artist. So she can save this artist's set for another time. She can share it with someone. She's obviously going to donate, but I wanted that to be the larger big call to action button because artists want to be supported. But what other third action do you think she might want to use that would be important for her? I want to hear my name from you. Oh, okay. Hi, Pod. There you go. Lamont said why though? Oh, is that from me? To do the name? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so next thing is the call to action button. So R for rectangle, if you don't remember. Pretty easy one to remember. You'll remember after today, that's for sure. So here is the rectangle, and we're gonna say donate. And then this we're gonna make into a component because we're probably gonna use call to actions multiple times. This is your main call to action button. So if you don't remember how to make a component, you just select this group, and on the upper right hand corner up here under where it says repeat grid, you're gonna add this little plus button. So now this is a component. Now you can use this, you can create a copy of this component, and anytime you change to this one, it's gonna reflect on all the other instances or replicas of this component, okay? So we have that guy here. And then it's just gonna have like other live streams underneath it. So I'm actually just gonna grab like this group and paste it down here. I'm gonna say other live streams. All right, did you guys think of anything else you wanted to add here? Okay, third button is, what'd you guys say? Listen later. Ooh, yeah, I like it. But then I also wonder if listen later could be considered save. Would you think that you would want to save it to listen to it later? Save for later almost. I wonder if that could be both. That's a really great thought. Because if you can't listen to it right now, like, can I listen to it later? So I maybe would think that save would also allow you to listen to it later. Anyways, great idea. Third action, favorite. Oh, you can favorite it. Cool. Yeah, that's a good one. Like, follow. Yeah, that could be it. It just depends on if she came from an artist she follows, she might already be following them. But maybe, ooh, giving me ideas, guys. Giving me so many ideas. Like how this one says following. It could say follow or following. So she's already following it. Maybe it has that little button. So I like it. Let's do it. But it's not gonna look, we'll see how it looks. Because it's kind of different look of a button. We could always change it later in the UI. That's why we do wireframes. That's why we do wireframes. Okay. What do you think? What do you think? I like it. Yeah, it works for now. Cool. I love it. Let's do it. All right. Oh, and then the other thing we're just missing is, cool. All right, guys, we got our 3 wireframes in. Amazing. Probably did that in 30 minutes, so 10 minutes a pop. I like to allocate like an hour per screen for mobile for high fidelity is what I usually do, but we're probably gonna run this through this really quickly because we're using a lot of the same elements over and over. Let's get into high fidelity screens. Cool. Now, I've been thinking, like, what kind of high fidelity, like, oftentimes most of what I'm seeing is like darker background for music apps because they want the actual image of the album or the artist and whatnot to really pop. And oftentimes, a lot of albums are pretty bright and colorful and so forth. I really love how they do that with the colors here on Spotify as well as for Dice. So really like pop in of the images. So I think I want to stick with the darker background UI, but I don't want it to just be straight up black. I think what I've been like thinking about earlier this morning, like what is the UI gonna be? And I was thinking maybe more of like a murky black, like a darker gray, almost to a green tint. So I'm gonna play with that. And so this is how I usually start. Like, what am I gonna do? Darker, lighter? So I kind of wanted it to be a little more on the greener side, but a dark color, like a, but I don't want it to be gray either. Open to suggestions as well, guys. Open to suggestions. Might start with something like that. Might go to black, to be honest. But I would start with like one color. So it might be this color. Why does it keep going? Around here. Okay. I'm gonna grab this, and then I use this site called Coolers, something like that. Let's see here. So I would go to Coolers, COOLORS, this .co. This is one I use. So I'm gonna go start the generator. And what this allows me to do is just find a bunch of colors that can go well together. I would never say that I'm like a color expert. I'm like, I kind of have a feeling for colors that I like, that I think work well. I try to use sometimes like the psychology of colors, or try to understand what other companies are using, what other companies that are very similar, what are they using and why are they using it? So we kind of already broke that down, like darker backgrounds to make the images actually pop up and stand out more. So here what I would do is I would paste in that main color I'm thinking of using. Oh, they call it kombu green. If you guys don't know anything about Japanese food, kombu is seaweed. So seaweed green. Is that the best color for an app? I don't know. We'll try it out. Kombu green. All right. Then what I do is I lock this one. So like this is one I want to keep. I probably want to keep white too. So I'm going to lock that. And then I use the space bar for it to generate all these different color groupings. So let's pick out a couple together that we think we like. I like to try out a couple. I don't want to just stick with one and that's it, because you have to see how it actually looks on the interface. So I just like will space bar, multiple colors. Here's some options there, some purples. So because this is super dark, I want there to be a brighter call to action color. That's the second color I'm looking for. So I have the darker background and I want the primary call to action color to stand out against that black background. So I'm just gonna keep hitting spacebar till I feel like, ooh, there's a color that really like works well with it. So like I could put these two together and be like, does this work well? Or does this look like Ninja Turtles? Kind of like Ninja Turtles, so no. But this is like the kind of contrast I'm looking for, the bright green with the dark. Keep going. Pink is interesting. Coral pink. What do you guys think about this? We'll just like cinnamon satin. What a great name. So much better than kombu seaweed green. I'm just gonna like, I am going to put that in here and like have that as an option. I will change up that kombu green. I don't like, I'm not thinking, no guys, I don't know about the green now that it's called seaweed green. Be a little more gray. Here we go. What do you guys think of kombu green? Are you happy that I'm ixnaying it? Pine tree, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, liking this color. Another color I'm liking. We'll go for 3 colors and then we'll do a vote. So if you're loving coral, or what is this one? Caribbean green, hey. There's also pink. I know I'm kind of into the pinks. I don't even normally design with pink normally. This is interesting, polished pine. It's not very bright, but it is enough of a contrast. But it's very like, no, like sophisticated to me. What do y'all think about this? You're not even seeing my messages. Who's Robzilla? The legendary Robzilla. Hey! Okay, so we're talking about almost like a sea foam. You love sea foam. Okay, is this sea foam to you? You liking that? You liking that sea foam green? Yeah, I think I liking that too. Someone also said to try flatUIcolors.com or color.adobe.com. Hey, okay, we could try those out. If I'm not like loving colors, we can try those. Dark mode all day, every day, Alberta says. All day, every day. Dark green or bottle green. Okay, people are into the greens. Let's mess with it. Okay, what I'm gonna do is put that dark green. Do you guys do little songs when you guys design? I do. And let's try the call to action. Let's do, let me just grab these guys. You know what I should really be doing is using my color assets up on the upper left here. Bring those babies in. All right, so I have all my colors over here. Okay, let's see how the CTA button looks, call to action button looks with the seafoam. It looks kind of crazy because it looks kind of crazy because of all the yeah, because everything's black, so that doesn't look good. So let's just do everything white first. Hard to tell what's going on. All right, so that's with the green. What do you guys think? Maybe I should throw in an image here so that it's like not so. Could use an image like this, like a live still, or we can use like just an image of that artist, like so. Let's look. What kind of artist? I'm gonna look for my favorite DJ actually, because you know, because I love him. Netsky, gotta promote. What's a cool image here? I'm gonna show you something if you've never used Adobe XD color, photo drop here. If you've never used it, it's gonna blow your mind. Okay, so what I do, you just take this image and you literally drag it in there. Do I see that? Yeah, it blew my mind. It's like my favorite thing. All right, let's see what people are saying. I do little songs all day, different themes. Yeah, that's awesome. I constantly have a song in my head. Hey, we're all music lovers here. Hey. I usually jam the dark one color and grab the light of the same color. Oh, I like that. Cool. What's the name of the app or the web? So it's not actually, there's no name for it as of yet, because it's just when we're creating on the spot. I feel like the name is the hardest part, so I have not done that yet. But like Spotify, where you don't need to have your name on any specific screen, that's what we're doing here. We're not gonna have the name of this app. It's generic app that offers live music. Now, if you wanna create a title for this app, oh my gosh, please do. I would love, or if you wanna even think about it, if you guys are coming tomorrow for the next session, you guys have some names, I'm happy to take on some ideas from you guys on the name. All right, so here is the artist. I really like on this one here that they have some sort of gradient that transitions, so we'll do that in a little bit, but just wanting to first get a feel for like the colors. So here we've got the bright green as the CTA. We've got, let's see, the darker green. Interesting. Moody. Moody. Are we into moody? Kind of liking it, actually, surprisingly. And then we have pink. Coral. Corally pink. What y'all think? What did y'all think about the pink? Yay, you guys are super excited about the photo drop. Yes! It's my favorite. And you guys, tomorrow we're just gonna be dropping photos all over. So if you guys liked it, I would suggest you guys play around with just making a bunch of squares on a screen with me and drag and drop them in. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be a great time. Someone has a name. Ooh, move. Ooh, like mood, but music, and move your mute body to the music. Orion. Oh, I like that too. Kind of like sci-fi. Orion. Gosh, what up? Pulse. Nice. I like that. Musically. Yeah, I like that. Well, actually, that Musically is a company too. Love that name though. Will we be designing web applications? We're just gonna be doing mobile. Yeah, just mobile for today and tomorrow. This pink is cool. Someone just offered me a pink. Yay, I'm excited to try it. No warning color, red for donation. Red for donations. Yeah, I like red. Red is typically used, I've noticed, more so on nonprofit sites. So yeah, there's that feeling too, but we could try it too. Sounds so fun. What about iTunes? Not sure about that one. It might be taken. I am loving the names, and we should do a, tomorrow morning, let's do a, oh my gosh. Vote. Oh my God, how could I not think of that word? It's because it was 7 in the morning for me. All right, so we'll do a vote for some of these top ones because I'm loving them. Okay, someone gave me a pink to try out, which I'm really excited to do. Ooh, this is like fun Barbie pink. Yeah, that's really fun too. Ooh, so yeah, let's also do a vote for colors. Actually, let's do it right now. So we'll do a vote for colors. Do you like bright pink? If you like bright pink, vote number 1. If you like seafoam, this like seafoamy green color, do number 2. Vote number 2. If you like this like more darker foresty moody green, press 3. Those are the 3 options. And if you guys really like are like hating all 3, just hit number 4 and give me another color that you like. So 1 for pink, 2 for seafoam, 3 for foresty. Give me your votes. Let's see, what should we choose? Okay, 2. Whoa. 2. Whoa. Everyone is voting 2. We got to vote 1 for number 1. Yeah, seafoam all day. 2. Okay, we got a couple 3s now. 2 3s, a 1. All right, someone's into the bright pink. 3s, a couple 3s. Ooh. 1 3 2 2 3 3 3. 2 3 1 3 2 2 2 3 3 3 2 2 3 3 2. I'm loving all the votes. So kind of like feeling like 2 or 3. So I'm gonna be the tiebreaker, and I'm gonna let you guys know maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna like think on it. 2 or 3. That feels like That feels like the tiebreaker between those two. We're getting some more threes. Do we get stickers? I'm sorry, I don't do stickers. I'm by myself, a solo show, so I'm sorry. All right, let's move forward. We got 10 more minutes. Let's do some stuff here. Okay, so I'm gonna make the menu bar this dark green as well. I'm gonna change out these guys to white. I'm also gonna like totally change out the fonts because these fonts are just right. We're getting into UI now. It's time to start talking crap about the typography. All right. I really like Playfair Despair. I kind of like this feeling, and sometimes when I get into the typography, it'll help me figure out and finesse the colors too. Like what's the mood I'm going for. So I like this kind of more. This to me feels a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more like news, like a newspaper style print or something like that. And the other one I've been thinking about, which I use all the time, is Proxima Nova. Now, if you guys have any other thoughts, like I'm totally open to your typography suggestions. If you also want to like try stuff out with me right now, I'm happy to do so. Otherwise, I am going to change out these and I'm going to edit it and I'm going to change them to the Proxima and change these guys to white. Now, I'm not sure if I want this one to be Proxima or if I want it to be the Playfair. Well, I'm gonna make sure that this one is Playfair, because that's this one. But this one, what should it be? Let's try it out, Playfair. Oh, not that one, okay. Now, this one should be a bit smaller. So what do you guys think? Do you prefer this one to be Playfair or Proxima? Maybe not so bold either. A medium. Maybe, yeah, what do you guys think? Someone says Montserrat. Okay, let's try some of that. Papyrus. Giles said thank you for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining and helping me have such a great time today. Love all of your guys' feedback and comments. Okay, someone told me to try Montserrat. So I like Montserrat. Maybe I'll try it for the main. That's an option. Keep the Playfair. Someone's like, I don't know how I feel about. Someone said, I don't know how I feel about serif. Yeah, I like it. I like it sometimes, depending. But I hear you, Marissa. So someone said, Comic Sans. Yeah, we're not doing that. Open Sans. Open Sans is always good for like a secondary one. We could try that here. There's Open Sans. And then someone says Acumen Pro. I don't even know that one. What's Acumen? Let me just try it here. Let me give it as a third one. Loving all this group participation. So tell me what you guys think. Number 1 for Playfair. Number 2 for Montserrat. Number 3 for Acumen Pro. I already have some votes for the second one. Yeah, we're not going to worry about the image for now. Don't worry about that. So Poppins. Oh, I like Poppins too. Oh no. Oh no. 1, 2, or 3, and I'm gonna try Poppins on the fourth one. I'm crazy. Oh, I do like that too. No, no, no. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm giving. This is the last vote of the day, guys. You know, it's a pro font when it has pro in the name. Totally. Okay, we got a vote for 2. We got a vote for 3. 1, 3, 3. Oh, 1, 3, 1 or 3. 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3. 1 through 3. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. 1, 1, 3, 2, 4, 4, 3, still 3. Yeah, if someone wants to like tally these. Okay. 4, 1 or 4. 1, 4, 4, 1, 3, 4, 4. Wow, people are now changing their mind to 4. So, okay. Okay. Well, 2 was actually not voted very much. It was like 1 and 3 originally, and then it was like the 4. All right, tomorrow I'm gonna decide that as well. I think it was between 1, 3, and 4, and I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to look through the votes to see which ones were the most, because it was really hard for me to tell. It felt like sort of a between these 3. So I'm gonna do a tie vote for this as well as for the colors, and we're gonna find out tomorrow what those are. I need a polling app. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Does anyone know a polling app that I can use for tomorrow so that it could just be much easier for us to like actually get the real vote? Anybody? All right, so just so you know what we did today, we did a lot. We went over the actual XD interface. We went over the basics of creating shapes, typography, of components using repeat grid. We talked about atomic design and why we create components, right? I showed you the persona. So who are we designing for? It was Tamra, the festival goer, super excited about music, but she's sad because she doesn't get to go to live music. So she wants to know when her favorite artists are going live on an app. Then I showed you how to the user flow that I created here. And all of this I used with Adobe XD's plugin called Whiteboard. Don't forget, Whiteboard. Really great plugin. Then I talked about the competitive analysis and the inspiration that I was gathering from Spotify, Dice, and YouTube. And then we went into showing you the sketches that I created yesterday, preparing for today. And then we went into low fidelity wireframes. And then we've started to work on high fidelity, starting as a group together, figuring out what are some great colors to use, typography. I'm so super excited that you guys have helped me out so much with this. I really love that. And tomorrow we're going to talk about what are the winners. If someone gave me a polling suggestion, I would really love that. And again, if you have any other questions, follow me on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn, Elizé UX. I'm super happy to stay connected with you guys. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow, where we're going to be going over finishing out the high fidelity for these, maybe making more screens if we so choose. I have the full flow going up to donating to the artists as well, because we want to give back to the artists, give back to the musicians. And then we're going to go into sharing, talking about how we can get user testing feedback, how we can get feedback from designers, how we can share with developers. So we're really going to go into these other 2 options. So I went full on into design today and all the design things for beginners. We're going to go into prototyping and sharing as well tomorrow. I'm also going to talk about scroll groups and stacks, the new XD features that are super easy to use and amazing and make life that much simpler. All right, guys, I have really loved connecting with you guys, and I hope to see you tomorrow. All righty, bye.